What was dekulakization? Have you ever wondered what dekulakization meant in the context of Soviet history? This term refers to a significant campaign that took place in the Soviet Union during the early 1930s. It was initiated by the government to target a specific group known as Kulaks. Kulaks were prosperous peasants who owned land and employed workers. The Soviet leadership viewed them as a barrier to implementing socialism in agriculture. The campaign was part of a larger movement called collectivization. This effort aimed to consolidate individual farms into large collective farms controlled by the state. The idea was to create a more equitable agricultural system, but it came with severe consequences. The term kulak originally described wealthy peasants in Tsarist Russia. However, under Soviet rule, it took on a more political meaning. The kulaks were seen as opponents of collectivization and state control. Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, viewed them as a threat to his vision of a socialist society. Dekulakization officially began in 1930 after Stalin's announcement to liquidate the kulaks as a class. This was part of what he called his Second Revolution, which aimed to rapidly modernize the Soviet Union. The campaign had two main goals. First, it sought to eliminate resistance to collectivization. Second, it aimed to populate remote areas like Siberia and Kazakhstan with deported kulaks. During this campaign, kulaks were divided into three categories based on how much of a threat they posed. The first group included those who openly opposed the government. Many in this group faced execution or were sent to labor camps known as gulags. The second group consisted of the wealthiest kulaks, who were deported with their families. The third group was resettled locally on less desirable land and barred from joining collective farms. The impact of dekulakization was devastating. Between 1930 and 1931, over 1,800,000 peasants were deported. Estimates suggest that hundreds of thousands were executed, and many more died during transit or shortly after being resettled. From a socialist viewpoint, dekulakization was an extreme measure to eliminate perceived class enemies and consolidate control over agriculture. However, it also highlights the difficulties and controversies that come with rapid social change. The brutal nature of the campaign and its effects on millions of people raise important questions about the methods used to achieve socialist goals. In the broader context of collectivization in the Soviet Union, dekulakization was a key part of transforming agriculture into a socialist model. While it succeeded in bringing agriculture under state control, it did so at a tremendous human cost. This historical event serves as a reminder of the complexities involved in implementing radical social changes.